Well, good afternoon, folks. Hope you're all doing very well. Welcome back to Simulation for the Nation, and welcome back along to the West Coast. We have got a little bit of ploughing underway here. It's a little bit scruffy at the moment. We are trying to get it all tidied up as best as possible, but right now we're just trying to get away. A little problem with the plough earlier that I had to come in and adjust. Problem with the skimmers on the plough, so that's why I was kind of burying all of the trash down at the bottom end here. However, we're getting there. So this is as I mentioned in the previous video here, we are taking on a lot more land now, which is all in stubble, so it all needs to be ploughed over, which we're trying to do as best as possible. Get ourselves some kind of head start here. So we're going to be looking to plough this over. This land here we're in now will be coming into spring barley. So we'll get this ploughed over, get it probably worked down briefly, and then the drill will come in straight behind. So we're going to be putting a lot of spring barley, spring wheat in this year round. Some of the land will be going straight into a cover crop, and it'll be left there until the winter drilling commences. As you can see, I got one of the guys driving over there. He's just breaking some land down with a top-down cultivator. It's not quite as heavy on the hillside there, so it doesn't need as much of a turnover. And anything that's going into spring barley will be ploughed over here. Anything that's going into either spring oilseed rape or spring wheat will be just direct drilled behind the cultivator there. So it's going to speed up the cultivation process a little bit. But we're making some good progress, that's the main thing. We've also got one of the boys is on spreading fertilizer right now, put some nitrogen onto our grassland. We need to get ahead of the grassland. We really need to get that start growing because it's not going to be long before we have to get a harvest in. So it's going to be good news that is progressing. And other than that, we are just making some handy progress here. Amazon plough is the same plough that we had previously. This is actually the first time it's been used though, really, since we bought it. Of course, we bought it second hand. But it is the first time it's actually getting a solid use on it. I had a few problems, like I mentioned there, with the skimmers. Now the skimmers, if you're unaware, are the smaller blades on the plough there at the front. They just weren't at the right height. They weren't burying some of the trash properly as it began turning over all of the stubble. So I need to have a little bit of a finer look into that. But the most important thing is that we're underway. We are flying through here. As I mentioned, it's been nice and dry the last few days. There hasn't been very little rain to complain about, which is ideal really. Just so it means we get, particularly when we've got a slight hill to work up like this, we're gonna get some good traction really. I haven't got a heaviest weight on the front. I could put more on there, but for now it's doing okay. As you can see in the bottom corner there, we're currently experiencing about 11% wheel slip. I do have my diff locks on. We're trying to push ahead with this Massey. I don't want to change it out. That would be overkill a little bit. As I was saying, yeah, we are currently we're burning through a lot of fuel here. Ploughing is one of my most favourite and least favourite activities on the farm because I do enjoy ploughing, but it's also so heavy on the consumption. So where possible, if you can try and avoid that, it's always best. Not only for soil compaction and for soil construction, really root construction, but also just for the sheer cost of running the tractor. However, it is in times like this necessary for new land we're taking over. We are going to have to come back through. It's still not burying everything properly as I would like. But we'll figure that one out down the bottom end there. So this field all in all is about 20 acres, I believe. It was previously winter wheat by the previous farmer, but they didn't do any treatment to the field or didn't put any slurry or manure on there, so that's why they probably experienced a bit of a dip. What we are looking to do though is make sure that we can improve our yields on here. This year we will just be continuing to put 3 stages of application of fertilizer on here. Primarily the first stage we'll be looking into will be pre-emergent fertilizer, and then there'll be 2 stages of post-emergent. So we'll be interested and looking forward to getting that put on there as soon as we can. on the other side of the field there, we are just going to be putting some winter wheat straight into there. The field next door to it over there is going to be winter or spring oilseed rape. So we're going to be looking to get that established in the next few days where possible. But yeah, like I say, there's always a lot of work to do at this time of year. Get up the hill there. 25% wheel slip there with both diff locks on would suggest that we're kind of at the limits of grip for this tractor. Usually if I'm ploughing, I'd put a heavier tractor on here. Unfortunately, the only heavier tractor I've got right now is a big Fendt. And there is a slight change with the Fendt at the moment. We did have a Fendt Favourite 900 in here. That might be getting changed out for a Vario 900, 927. I'm looking to see if I can get a specific one. I have one on the yard at the moment hooked up to the drill, but I'm not 100% sure that's going to hang around for too much longer. So do watch this space as far as that's concerned. Back we go. So how are you all? Hope you're doing very well on this Monday morning as I record this. Trying to get through a lot of videos. Got a lot, like I was mentioning previously, there's a lot of new stuff that I'm hoping to bring along. Not only on the West Coast, but across a few different genres. So today we are starting to really push ahead with some of that. I'm also starting to make a map at the moment. Something I thought I'd try. I'm not expecting it to be anything near the standard of this little guy here that we're currently ploughing in, but you know, we'll give it a go. That's the best we can do, and we'll see. It's something that's interesting for me, if nothing else. So do keep an eye out on to see how that one comes along. But yeah, I might even start a mini-series just kind of detailing my progress with that. But we'll see if I'm any good at it first before I commit to a whole series on it. Okay, so what I might do when we get to this end is just go and stop and pop over the road, see how we're getting on over there. We'll just park up here for now. Okay, so let's go and have a little wander. As you can see, it's all quite dry, very clean stubble. No weeds or black grass coming through there that we should be concerned about at the moment. But what we'll do is go and have a look, see how we're getting on over the road here with Jamie and his top down. See if we need to. Sometimes if it's that hard, it might need a second pass. No mental motorists coming. But yeah, it doesn't look like it's too wet in here either, so it is turning over quite nicely. At the moment, we are just using the Kroon top-down discs here, so it's making a nice job of burying all of the trash, I must say. So Jamie is up there in the 7530 John Deere. I stuck some dual wheels on there just because I wasn't really sure of how the conditions were going to be as we came in here. So he's given it the best go. We'll just keep an eye on him as he comes down here. But as you can see, this is making a nice seed bed. There's going to have to be very little preparation work, and with the Vedestad drill as well, we should be able to come straight through this and wrap it all up and make a nice tidy job of it. So we will put Jamie on into there next, I do believe. Here you come. So again, we had to stick another weight on the front just to make sure he had enough traction. But Jamie is pushing through there. He's got his friend sitting in the tractor today. I don't know where he came from. But there you go, there's two of them. Many hands make light work, I suppose. So, rolling with a 6, well, I believe it's a 6 meter cultivation drill discs. it's big enough for the John Deere, to be honest. If it was any bigger, it would be a struggle for him to get up these hills around here. With 7530, we are looking in the region of around 200 horsepower, so it's plenty of horsepower for the task, but any bigger, and this hill might just start to take it out of the tractor in. Perfect. So you got the two sets of discs on the front, and then the packer wheels on the back are just evening and leveling out the seed bed as well. So that looks very good. We'll leave him to crack on, and I shall go back to my ploughing. So yeah, there's some oils, what we're going to put into there. Spring oilseed rape into there, so that's a big field that we need to really get pushed ahead with. Right now we have an awful lot that we need to do, so it's more of a case of just trying to push on where possible. It's only now getting to the point where we can actually start to establish crops. It's warm, the sort of ground conditions are warm enough now that they will, if we drilled it now, they would actually start to germinate, which is exactly what we want. Okay, so what I'm going to do to keep you from being too bored of watching me just ploughing all day, I'm going to speed up some of this ploughing, and we'll come back to you when we get done towards the end. Okay guys, that's a tiny little bit of a speed up, not too much. I didn't want to keep you for too long there. So I thought I'd let you know, as I am still ploughing here, there's a few little updates that I need to give you before I forget more than anything else. Once I finish ploughing here today, I'm off to go and see the bank manager. And right now, financially, the farm is in good stead. It may not look at the top corner, but we have paid out a lot of our tenancy agreements for the year. So we're in financially we're very very stable. All of our machinery payments, if there are any to be made, have been made. So we have no significant outgoings anytime soon. So from a business standpoint, we're very good. Now, recently I have been considering a few new business adventures. One of which was an opportunity that was kind of positioned to me for a piece of land, which is not too far away from here. It's probably about a 5-minute drive northeast, really. Well, northwest, probably more likely. Anyhow, like I say, it's a business opportunity for it's a piece of land that what impresses me or intrigues me more is there's a nice hard standing with it, and that's what I want more than the land itself. And the reason I want to use that is because it's going to be a very possible location for a new business venture of ours relating to our selling production of straw. So what we'll be looking to do is installing a industrial building there where we can actually produce heating pellets. So I am off to before we go ahead and crack out the spades effectively start building. I'm off to head over to see the bank manager to get a little bit of a extension to a business loan to see if that's actually going to be possible. If it is, then fantastic. We'll look into establishing a new line of business for us, really. So I'm intrigued and interested to see how that comes along. So do keep an eye out for that. We'll see what progress we can make in the coming few weeks, really. But it all hinges on what the nice bank manager says today. So we'll have to butter him up and maybe take him some biscuits or something, get him on our side. So that's a plan. That would be if that's going to happen, which hopefully it does. It might be, like I say, in the next week or so. But yeah, do keep an eye on that. It could be worthwhile seeing where that one goes. But I thought I'd let you know anyway, because it could be something very intriguing and exciting. And then finally, when I get up to the very top of here, I'm going to take a wander. Just going to park up briefly. I just want to show you the new Fendt we have in the yard here, and discuss some of the possibilities with that Fendt as we keep going over the next few years. It's a big new tractor for us, and it's going to be able to assist us here handsomely, really, with all of our groundwork projects. As you can see, Jamie in the foreground there is really making some good progress in his field. Up we go. So far, the land's turning over very well. It's very light soil here, so it is folding over very nicely in the furrow. Little bit of the grip issue on the hill there, but that's to be expected. The rest of it's going quite well. So what I will do is we'll just fold the plough over. I'm just going to come park down here for now. I'll have a wander back down to the yard. Alright then. So at the moment the yard's still quite empty here. We have, like I say, we're not going to put any cattle into here. We have sheep over at River Rock. So this is going to be primarily a storage yard for us, really. But it's a little bit empty at the moment. Brought the Fendt drill over and brought it over on this beast of a Fendt tractor, really. So this is a 927, as I mentioned. So this is the Fendt 927, as I mentioned here, the Vario. It has very few hours on the clock. It's pretty much new for us, really. A few demonstrator hours, but nothing to write home about. I got it with this fantastic steel mesh grill on the front there. I think that looks really nice. So we'll have a climb inside it. It is a brand new machine, like I mentioned there. It's possibly a little bit too big for what we would want. That said, it's nice to keep our options open. Like I mentioned there, we are looking to always increase and diversify. So with the landscape around here, we do need something capable of pulling a machine such as this drill, but also bigger up and down the hills here. So I'm very happy with this. We will we'll report back to you as we start to use it more. but it is a fantastic machine. Now what I am looking to do, as I go back out, what I would very much like would be a to convert this into more realistic scripts, because at the moment it's not, and it's the only machine that I'm using apart from the Scorpion that isn't. So that would be something worthwhile. Might be a little project for myself, so we'll keep an eye on that one. The combine here, that is more realistic, and that does need to be put away actually. So I might just do that now. You can go into there. Perfect. Alright, we'll squeeze this into here. Take the header trailer off. The header can... I will put the header trailer in, but I'm not reversing it on the back of the combine, that's for sure. Okie dokie then. So the combine was recently all serviced down and cleaned out, so we don't need to think about anything like that before we need to get it ready for harvest. But for now, it's just going to sit in the shed for the next few months. All being well. I can't see it. Where's my... There we go. My mirrors aren't very good in this thing. They don't really give me much of a... How's that looking there? Better. Okay. So we'll just park this up here for now. And we'll probably call it quits for there. So today is another day of just kind of getting everything up and running really. We've got a lot of groundwork to do, so we're going to try and push through as much of that as possible. But yes, thank you very much for watching there. We will keep you abreast of any new changes that do come onto the farm in the not too distant future. But for now it is a case of all hands to the deck, and we'll get everything drilled up and ploughed up as soon as possible. But for the meantime, as always, thank you very much for watching. I have been Simulation for the Nation. You have always, once again, been fantastic. Do keep an eye out on the FS UK forum page for any new updates that will be coming to the farm. We'll be sure to keep you all abreast of those. And also there'll be, I'll put my links for both the forum page and also any of my social media sites below. So you can keep an eye on that and keep up to date with what's going on the farm. But until next time, thank you very much for watching as always. Do stay safe in whatever you may be doing and enjoy yourself. But until next time, happy farming.